This is homework set 7, questions 9, 10, 11, 12. Question 9 gives us an inequality this time, not an equation that involves an absolute value. So I'm going to write this according to I'm going to use that template that we had for the interpretation, because that'll show you exactly why we're going to write what we're going to write. And then later we could use a shortcut. But for right now, let's see why this works. So let's go back to our interpretation. But first up, let's add 5 just to isolate that absolute value. So we'll get the absolute value of x less than or equal to. Now adding 5, we'll get -1 plus 5 is 4. Now let's interpret this. So this says that the distance between the number, some number, and 0 on the number line is, now in our case, it's not equal to like our last problems, but it's less than or equal to so many units, right? So it's kind of like a template. You have two fields to fill in. So the distance between the number, now that's what you put inside, that number is inside the absolute value. So for us it's x. So we're saying that the distance between the number x and 0 on the number line is not equal to 4 units, but less than or equal to 4 units. So that's what I wrote, is less than or equal to, and then this is 4 units. Now let's draw a graph. So I'll draw it up here. So here's my x number line. Here's 0. Now where can I put this x? Well, wherever I put it, it has to be less than 4 units from 0. So here's 0. So what if we go out 4? If I went out 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go out 4 on the right, I'm over here at this number 4, and I'll close it in because it's got that equal sign. So I could be anywhere in here, right? We could be anywhere in here, because if I'm anywhere in here, I'm less than or equal to 4 units. But if I move to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, that number would be -4, and we could be anywhere in here. So where is this x? Well, x has to be within or less than 4 units from 0. So as long as I'm in this shaded region, right, just set yourself anywhere in here. Aren't you less than 4 units from 0? Yeah, so this is where x is. So in our case, x is anywhere in here. Now just bring everything straight down. Just bring it straight down and we'll have it. So we'll have -4, then the x, and then the 4. Now, what do you have here? Well, the -4 is to the left of x, or it's got a closed circle, so it's less than or equal to x, and in turn, x is to the left of +4. Less than or equal to +4. There we go. That's our solution. But now, yeah, that's good enough. They're just asking for the solution. If I wanted to put this, I've got it right now in inequality form. I've got the graph, I've got the inequality form. If I just wrote interval form, which they're not asking for, I'd have lower bound, upper bound, and because I got the equals, I'd be putting on those square brackets. Now, there is a shortcut way of doing this. We have to be careful that we understand, when I write the shortcut, why it works. And it works because all of this is true. It's in terms of distance. So here's what we did. If you go back up here, I'll write it over here. Okay, if you start, say we started here, or if I started here, here's what happened. I removed the absolute value. I put that number negative on the left side and positive on the right. So I did this. -4, use the same direction, less than or equal to x, less than or equal to +4. Right, that takes us right up here. So, why do I do that? Well, I do it because all of this works. All right, so if I had something like this, suppose that we had, all right, just for an example, suppose I had this, that the absolute value of x is less than or equal to 8. I'd write -8 over here, less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 8. All right, so a shortcut, but why does it work? If you had to explain it to somebody, it works because everything is in terms of distance. And now it's important to keep in mind that when you write this over here, I didn't mean to erase that. When you write this over here, that only works when you have less than or equal to. If I had an equal sign, it wouldn't work. And the next problem we do will have a greater than or equal to sign. So if you want to use the shortcut, that's fine, but there's a lot of stuff to remember. When can you do it? Only when you have less than or equal to. Now here is an inequality, a greater than inequality involving an absolute value. So this is going to be a little different than the equation, the shortcut, and the less than shortcut that we did in the previous problem. Now, first up, let's eliminate the 6. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So I'll get the absolute value of x is greater than or equal to adding 6. Negative 2 plus 6 is a 4. So let's translate. Here's what this says. And now I'm looking at this, and I know absolute value is the distance, so I'm saying this. The distance between the number, just like always, between the number and 0 on the number line. So it always goes like this. The distance between the number and 0 on the number line is, now what do we have? We have not equals this time. We have greater than or equal to this many units. So the first number in the absolute value goes in the first block, first field, and the second number goes in the second field. All right, so let's put our numbers in. The distance between the number, now our number here is x, that's what's in the absolute value, x and 0 on the number line is greater than, now greater than or equal to is more than, what do we have? We have a 4. Let's put a 4 in here. So we're saying this, that the distance, here's what this says to us. What does this say? Translated from mathematics to English. It says the distance between the number x and 0 on the number line is more than, greater than or equal to 4 units. Let's graph it, and from the graph, we'll have the inequalities that we're looking for. So we're dealing with x's. Now our starting point is 0, and where are we? Where is this number x? Well, I know that it's more than 4 units away from 0. Now if I come over to my number line, and I go start at 0, and then I go out 4 units to the right. Say I go to the right first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'll draw a closed circle because I got that equal sign in the inequality, right? A closed circle because I've got that equal sign. So that is the number 4, right? I went out 4 units. So this would be the number 4. And where are we? Where are the x's? All right, the x's are down here. Here's our translation. It's greater than or equal to 4 units. So wherever I put the x, I have to be more than 4 units away. So where are we? I could be anywhere out here, right? If I'm anywhere out here, I'm more than 4 units away. But I could have gone to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I could have gone over here. Now, I'm on the left side, so that's negative 4. Now where would the x's be? Well, the x's have to be more than 4 units away. So just put your pencil there. What if I'm here? Well, I'm not more than 4 units away. If I'm out here, yeah, now I'm more than 4 units away. So I'm going to shade in this region out here. So now just bring everything straight down. What have we got? Just bring things straight down. Now where are the x's? The x's, well, over here, I can see the shaded here, so the x's are to the left. So it's going to be x is less than or equal to negative 4, or I could be to the right, and in this case, the x's are to the right of 4. X is greater than or equal to 4. All right, so there's our solution. But now if I write this in interval notation, then it's going to look like this. Interval notation, remember, goes from lower limit to upper limit. So as I'm over here, actually, look at the graph. That's why it's nice to have the graph. It's easy to get interval notation. Where are we here? I'll do it right above. So where are we? I'm going from negative infinity, parentheses around infinity, remember, comma lower limit, upper limit, negative 4. And the 4 is included, so square bracket. Okay? I'm in here. So negative infinity up to and including negative 4, or, now remember our symbol for 4 in mathematical translation is that union sign. And then where are we to the right? To the right, we're at 4, lower limit's 4, upper limit's infinity. 4 is included, infinity is not. So that is going to be our solution. So this form is interval form, here's the graph form, and here's inequality form. Now that closes out our set 7, questions 9 and 10.